Hey guys, this is the Mostly MMA Podcast, and I'm Paul Bryant, and I've got a special guest with us here today. I'm really excited about this. I got Jesse Taylor on the show today. Hey Jesse, welcome.
Hey, what's up, Paul? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bud. I'm so excited to have you on here, man. How was your day? How was training?
Oh, hell yeah, you know it, man. It's a long day of the grind. I woke up a little bit lighter today, did some strength and conditioning, chilled, came back for some sparring, finished off with some wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and now I'm just chilling out underneath the stars.
Sounds good, brother. I just want to jump right into it, man. What was your reaction when you got the call to be back on Tough again?
Oh man, I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it was happening. I heard rumors, actually, of course, in my travels. I was fighting over in Russia. I was kind of burnt out with the whole deal, fighting total killers in Russia. I don't know, just the whole thing going over there. I was just kind of getting over fighting, and I found out. Then I talked to my buddy Tom Galicchio, Team Quest training partner too, and he said, yeah, it's true. I sent in my application, talked to the producers, and one thing led to the next, and I'm like, hey, if this is a go, I want to put everything into this. So found out it was a go, trained my ass off, and here we are now.
Hell yeah, buddy. Originally, there was some rumors that there might be some lighter weight classes for Tough Redemption. Do you know anything about that?
I heard rumblings of it, but from my knowings, I knew there was a welterweight. I knew once I expressed interest, just my whole story that I've always been active since I've been out of Tough or UFC. So I think I was kind of just a shoo-in, and I just expressed interest. They of course wanted to make sure I was in shape, could fight, and I'm like, hey, let's do this. Give me a chance. Let me prove it to you guys. So, I was stoked. It was biggest thing of my life. Awesome. Yeah,
bud. Going into the house, who did you see as your toughest matchup?
So once I got there, now, like anyone, just like the fans and everyone too, I didn't know for sure who was going to be there because they, you see everyone for the medicals and all that, but they kind of do a final cut at the end. So I didn't even know, really who was there. Once I saw everyone there, first time I was very confident in my abilities and myself. I personally thought one of the toughest matchups was Diego Lima.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Diego Lima and James Krause. James Krause and Diego Lima. To me, and then training with them a little bit as it went on, were the toughest matchups.
Yeah. Let me ask you, how does being on the Ultimate Fighter Redemption compare to Ultimate Fighter 7?
That's a great question. I think just like anything in life, I tell people kind of this, like, you do things twice, no matter what, you kind of take it in more. Mm-hmm. So I think we've all been there, and it was like a dream again, it was still an awesome feeling, but I kind of took advantage of it, took it in a little more. I grew up since the last one a little bit, so it was, to me, a really cool experience again. I love those kind of situations. Not all the fighters do. You probably heard I like those kind of, it's like a military kind of deal, training, just, nothing, no outside distractions. So I liked it, and I was just stoked on it.
Yeah. Let me ask you, what was the biggest sacrifice you made by leaving home to go do the Ultimate Fighter?
I always say my kids, leaving my kids behind. That's really hard. That's fighting in general. Definitely the Ultimate Fighter because it's gone that long. But, I'm a road warrior, man. I've been all over this globe fighting, so I've had to leave home, a couple times. And sometimes I would stay a little bit doing seminars, stuff like that, international, and which are really cool adventures. But there's a lot of sacrifice, too, and that's the hardest part for me. I had to leave my kids behind and not see them, and my girlfriend, and kind of that chill life. Those sacrifices are hard.
Yeah. Is it hard to do interviews knowing you can't really give any details out? Because, man, I'd be afraid of letting something slip out.
No, man, thanks. I'm pretty good. Like I said, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been doing this a while. I've done this before, and so it's kind of, pretty good. I'm all caught up too. Diego Lima and Hyder just fought.
Right.
All I can say is interesting fight. I hope people watch that fight, keep your eyes on that fight. But it was, that was a good little battle. But I just got to talk only up to the episode, obviously. So.
Yeah. Let me ask you, when you're going into a fight that you know is only 2 rounds, you know, how's the mindset? Is it different when you go into a 2-round fight versus a traditional 3?
Yes and no. I mean, it comes down to it. It's a fight. 2 rounds, definitely more faster pace. You can kind of explode more, but then you can get tired like that too, you know, because you're going so much harder for those 2 rounds, which actually happened to me when I fought Mehdi. You know, I did well, but I was tired, and I pushed it. So 3 rounds, you just kind of pace yourself a little differently, and then obviously championship fights, 5-round fights, you have to pace yourself entirely differently. But yeah, I mean, I always say 3 rounds you can train for. You can't even train for 5 rounds. That's all guts, all heart when you get into that territory. But yeah, it is a little different. Just the pace, I would say. Yeah,
definitely, man. That's something different. So you're kind of big into poetry, right?
Yes, sir.
He's breaking out the poetry there a couple episodes ago. You'd mentioned that the season on 7 didn't really dig it, but you know, you guys were vibing there.
Oh yeah, I got season 7 poetry and season 25 poetry. You know, my poetry has come a long way. You know, I kind of went astray, but I always kept my way. And I still do it today.
Good deal, bud. I like to do a little bit of that myself too, honestly.
Poetry really is pretty cool, though. I'm not sure that's it, but on the show, which is cool. I'm sure you saw that. You know, first time I did it, everyone thought it was real funny. This time, though, it was cool because people liked it. They really did like it. James Krause didn't really go into that too much, but James Krause got really good at poetry. He had some deep, really good poems, so I want to give him a shout out. And everyone was kind of doing it. Like, everyone got into it, so it was kind of cool, you know. It was kind of funny and cool, and, you know, kept the mood lax. You got to keep the mood in those situations, to me, real lax, you know, because you're in a house, a bunch of dudes fighting each other, so might as well have fun with it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I like that. You know, you don't have TV or radio and stuff, so hey, you got to do what you got to do with your free time. You know,
yeah, we can't even read. So.
Wow, can't even read a book. That I didn't realize that.
The only thing they allow is a Bible. So a lot of people get into writing, poetry, writing for themselves.
Wow, that sounds like some long days, man.
Stuff, so. Yeah.
You know, back on season 7. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said it was crazy. Yeah, for sure.
You know, back on season 7, would you agree that was one of the most stacked rosters? You had, you know, Jesse Taylor, CB Dollaway, Matt Brown, Sadala, Harrison. How would you think that was one of the most stacked rosters?
Yeah. You know, at all the tough, we definitely did some stacked toughs that you see, which is cool. I mean, I think it's, people can say what they want, but I think it's a real good indicator of fighters how good they recruit the people, because they all end up fighting pretty good. So it's one of those things, that's one of the most stacked. You don't know it at the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of know it down the road more, which makes this season interesting because we've all been down the road. But, season 7 was stacked. Everyone was tight, bottom to top. But, you know, this season, too, season 25, I thought was personally stacked, too. Crafty veterans are no joke.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got Matt Brown there helping you out as one of the coaches too, right?
Yeah, Matt Brown. It's funny, me and him go back from season 7. We were boys. We were training partners. In season 25, he was a coaching, and still training partners. And we kind of, you know, started a little relationship again. And actually, I want to go see him. I'm San Diego boy, but I want to go out to Colorado. Denver, did some training out there with him and his team out in the mountains, and it was cool. It was really cool getting back together with Matt Brown, and of course TJ were all good coaches, but I have history of Matt Brown and TJ.
Yeah.
I actually wrestled in college with TJ, which is crazy, but it was just a good environment, and I want to go kind of replicate that again. Go out there and train.
For sure, man. You guys all really seem to take a liking to TJ. What was it like, training with him, and was you able to learn anything new and add to your game?
Oh, yes. I mean, it was incredible. TJ's younger than me, too. We wrestled in college together, and I see him fight. Big fan of friend, but fan, too, and he's just incredible, man. He had all sorts of tricks that I really liked. He was a really good coach. He shocked me on how good of coaching he was. I didn't think he was that good, but I learned a bunch of stuff that I'm using now, and I'm going to continue to use, and it's really cool. So that's the best part about these shows to me, is learning, meeting new people, but you get to learn, and you get that learning curve good, so your fight game goes up. Yeah,
for sure. The drama between TJ and Cody is, it's entertaining for the viewers, but what was that like, man, being there? I mean, was that just like really tense? Was it, what was that like?
Bro, to me, it was so stressful.
Yeah.
Every time I was like on edge, and you'll see. I can't talk about it. They keep doing it, bro, and they have no regard to other fighters, people cutting weight. Well, I mean, I don't blame them, but still, it's just towards the end it got annoying.
I bet, man.
See, you get I got a little bit used to it, but there's times that they'll see I got just they're just at each other's throats all season.
Was you ever like kind of fearful that there might really be like a big brawl between the teams to break out?
Oh, a couple of times. First, in the beginning of the season. At least 3 or 4 times I thought of full balls. I thought I was going to get hit in the face, breaking up a fight for sure. I want to get hit, but
yeah.
Luckily it didn't. It almost came, I'm like, you'll see it just gets crazier and crazier as the season progresses.
Yeah, that is something. You can't fake that. They genuinely do not like each other.
Yeah, they're not like each other.
You and Amir Sadala, 2008, who wins?
Me, bro. I take me all the way. Yeah, that's one that doesn't, me, 100%. I can't sit well on that. I like Amir, buddy, but, as a sportsman, a fighter, it was just a very good matchup for me, and, it still eats away at me. It makes me hungry to this day, but, yeah, I think I win that fight.
Yeah, I agree, bud. I think the only chance he had would be like an arm bar or something, because I know you would get him down and get on top of him. That would have been your fight.
Yeah, he's a crafty guy for sure. He has some tricks and big things, but I trained with him the whole time, and I think that would have been my fight.
For sure, man. That sucks. As far as we know, you've got 5 wins inside of the Ultimate Fighter. Is that a record? I think that might be a record for most wins inside of the house.
I think so. I don't read the forums too much. I saw someone that said it was funny. It's a tough goat, and hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think it's. I actually talked about. Yeah, I think that's true. So we got to keep watching. But inside the actual house, because I've been on there twice, so it's a little advantage. But I think I want to say, I got the records set. 5, because I don't think,
Yeah, because, not every season people didn't have to fight to get into the house, and usually after about 3 fights you were at the finale, and so you got at least 5 that we know of.
Yeah, well, the most you can get, in case you're on twice, is 4, right? Yeah, 4. If you had to fight to get in that. In case, that's the biggest tournament they did. That's what they pretty much are, but, yeah. So I think 4, and then if you come back, so it's funny. It's true though.
Yeah, you are, man. The tough goat. What made your weight cut one of the easiest? You said on the last one that the weight cut was probably one of the easiest of your career. What made it that way when others seem to really struggle with their weight inside the house?
Yeah, hey, I gotta tell you, breaking news that it's true. The that first weight cut, I lied. It was tough, man. I mean, there were some signs, you know, I got a little crazy there. Took off my clothes after making weight. But, I mean, you're severely dehydrated. You're like, you know, you're just in that whole new zone. I mean, I'm just so used to horrible weight cuts that I'm used to them. But that was not, I wouldn't say, I mean, it wasn't my hardest, but it wasn't easy. For sure it wasn't easy, that one.
That's great,
so, yeah, I think I kind of tricked myself. And I got to keep watching. Yeah, I'm one of the bigger 70-pounders, too, there. I think Eddie's the only other one bigger than me. And it's hard. You want to see it. It's really hard. But, you know, I get it done. I've never missed weight. And I pride myself on that. But 170s, yeah, it's a big cut for me.
Yeah, dude, you got what, 45 professional fights and you've never missed weight? That's saying something, dude.
Yeah, thanks. I count those tough fights too.
Yeah.
I always factor those in my record. I mean, it's, you know, some people would count them like it's extra. You know, I'm like, those are real fights, and it's like I count them.
Yeah, I agree that those are definitely real fights. So I would count them too, man, for sure.
Yeah. One day I'll talk to the guys, you know, powers that be, and be like, come on, man, count those fights. Yeah.
Add another 5 wins to that record, son.
Fuck yeah. I want those to count, man. Come on.
Definitely, dude. Jeez, that's funny, man. Let me ask you, how did you get into MMA? What inspired you to take that road?
Yeah, that's cool. So I was already kind of into it, and you know, I definitely was a Team Quest guy, but I was in college in San Francisco and hanging out. We started watching the YouTube videos, like, you know, I was like a little fresh, just nonstop. You know, I was a wrestler already, but I loved, you know, the fighting videos, and you know, lo and behold, you know, I started meeting people, Gil Melendez, Jake Shields. And back then, it was awesome. It took me to the underground fight clubs, pretty much. You know, like you go into a basement, and we, you know, it was all new to me. Just trying to choke each other, pretty much. I'm like, is it like wrestling? You know, and it was just really new to me. And I knew once I did that, I'm like, that's what I'm going to end up doing. And I ended up just wrestling for that time being. But then right when wrestling ended, stopped by Dan Henderson's. Indian guy offered me a fight. And I'm like, yeah, you know, some money. I'm like, let's do it. And I did the fight, and I kind of learned as I went. And once I did that fight, I'm like, it was like a calling, you know. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going to do this. And yeah, it was when I was like 23. So that, you know, young, but people started even younger for sure. So, but a lot of fights in that amount of time. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. But originally, probably I'd say up in San Francisco, watching a bunch of UFC, old school, like Vitor, old school, Vanderlei Silva, Igor Von Chanchin highlight videos, you know, Sakuraba, really. And I was like, I'm going to do that. Just kind of let me on the path.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's a long journey for sure. You got your story is unique, and I don't bring people on here to bring up negative shit, man. But you know, it's a great story. You making it a run, man. I've been rooting for you for a long time.
Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, that's flip side of messing up though is it makes for a great comeback, you know. So
yeah,
you know, just keep going.
Definitely. When you're Chris Lieben, he's one of your dudes. What kind of advice, or did he give you like a pep talk? Any advice, you know, coming back into the house?
Oh yeah. Well, for one, don't drink. I got that from everyone, and I got to add, I didn't drink in the house the whole time, so that was good advice to that. And you know, but Chris is like a funny guy, but he's really actually a really wise guy. He kind of just, not tell me the way he acts, you know, kind of does what his actions speak about. He's doing good. He's a great guy. He's down there at the arena with me, so we train together and coach together, and it's a great guy to be part of the team.
Let me tell you a Chris Lieben story. One day I messaged him, right, and I'm like, Lieben, you're my favorite fighter of all time. I used to just get baked and watch you and Kenny Florian fight, and I'm like, dude, will you please do my podcast? So he does my podcast,
yeah.
And I brought up marijuana, And he outed me as a stoner to everybody.
Yeah, leave it to them. Yeah. He doesn't like the ganja. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you right now, there is some definitely healing properties of marijuana. And true fact, being a fighter, you get smart because you have so much injuries. So to be smart, you gotta, at least me, I research them all, like ways, healing, try to get better. And it's a fact that you should for your eyes. Anyway, I was poked in the eye fairly recently. Pretty bad. It was like a little poke, but it was worse than I thought. Full on blind. I'm scared here, I'm blind in my left eye. I can't see. Fighting pretty much. It's scary. You don't want to lose my vision.
Yeah.
So I go to my car. I finished practice though. I might as well finish practice, my last practice. Go to my car, have a little bit of the THC and CBD, and I swear to you, boom, I got instantly better. I'm guessing that it had something to do with maybe pressure, maybe with like a heart, because I know it does something with the pressure, but I'm 100% healed. So it could be coincidence, but I don't know. Other stuff too sometimes, the actual CBDs could be good.
Yeah, man, had that magic stuff going on.
I'm telling you, man, I was so lit. My eye is gone. My eye is done, and and I had some of the healing properties of it, and it helped my eye get better. So, and it's cool because you see USADA, they're pretty lenient now, really lenient on marijuana.
Yeah, it's definitely time. Do you see it as a performance enhancer?
As much as I'm an advocate for it, I say it's a little bit of a performance enhancer because you can train, if you do it right, you can train non-stop with it. You don't feel, I don't know, it's a fine line. You kind of don't feel your body, so you just keep training, and you kind of get in that zone,
Yeah.
The blocks, a lot of part of training is just thinking about it, I had to go spar today and train, and it kind of blocks that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've noticed, other fighters have said, so it blocks that, so, it's like a natural healing, but I guess, maybe, I think it's a performance enhancer, but, it's an all-natural one, so why not? It comes from the ground, it's not a synthetic drug, so if it is, it should still be okay, it's like taking like caffeine, right? Caffeine's, legal in the performance enhancer, so I guess in a way it is.
Yeah, we seen Kelvin Gastelum recently have his win overturned because of marijuana.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. I was saying the funny story about that. I think there's a threshold, and they're really lenient. Like you can actually smoke all the way up to 24 hours before. But he must have he must have had a brownie before those. Who knows, man? He must have had a lot, though.
We know why he.
I just sweat too.
Yeah.
We sweat so much, drink water, but there's no way. You can pass the test. You have to do a lot. A lot of your system to not pass the test.
Well, we know why Kelvin's been struggling with his weight cut.
That's funny. Yeah.
What kind of hobbies? Sorry, go ahead.
He
Sorry, go ahead.
had an obscene amount, right?
Yeah.
Did he have a lot? He must have a lot, right?
Definitely.
That's funny.
What kind of hobbies do you have?
Sure, if you have that much.
I'm sorry, bud. Go ahead. I keep talking over you.
I was just going to say that he was for sure 100% high as a kite with those levels.
Yeah,
he was crazy to me,
He was getting that good shit, man.
Yeah. He's good though. He's a gamer.
Yeah, definitely. He's a tough dude, man. What kind of hobbies do you have outside of MMA?
Hanging out with the kids. Still a kid at heart, skateboarding. Hanging out with my lady. Reading. Chilling out. I like chilling out, meditating, yoga. Going to the beach, and playing. I keep on my feet with my kids. Hanging out with the boys. And, chilling. I like skateboarding and the beach.
What's a good book you've read?
Well, I recommend one. If I had to tell you, I've read some good books now, but one of my favorites For sure, is a Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's a really good book.
Sweet, dude. I'll have to give that a read. I'm a big reader. I like reading. I put in
bro.
I like a couple chapters a night. Helps me sleep.
It'll light a fire under your ass, but it's real deep too. It's a good book.
For sure, man. I'll get that.
Search for Meaning.
You know, out of your 45 fights, or 50 if we're going to count tough, you know, which one do you think about the most?
Kendall Girl fight, Australia. 5-round war, go down to Australia. I mean, I fought a lot of tough guys, and I'm not going to even say the toughness was the most memorable fight. And my first fight, but definitely that one, just because we both go down there. He's a tough champ. I'm a tough, the guy who should have won, a tough veteran. And we both go down there, no corners. I think he had his dad in his corner. And I had some random Aussie guy. I had Soa. I don't know if you remember a guy. Soa Palele was in my corner. This big, Aussie Samoan guy. And we ended up having a 5-round war in the middle of nowhere in Perth, Australia. And I've never had a 5-round fight, and it was just crazy. It was a grappling war. Doesn't get too much credit, but if you can look at it, it's just a total attrition kind of war. And I don't know, it really stood out for me. I was so messed up after the fight. I didn't think from exhaustion. I went to the after party, and I had one drink, and the whole the floor went like up and down, like whoosh. And it was a good time, man. This girl said, "Oh, you got to get out. You need to get out of here." I'm like, "Yeah." She took me home, so rest is history. But I never forget that night, for sure. Kendall Grove. Yeah,
Kendall's a pretty scrappy dude, man. That was a good fight, man.
Tall. Thanks, bro. He's tall. He's one of those guys. He's just tough. Like, you'll win, maybe, but you'll be beat up.
Yeah.
Like bony and scrappy.
Yeah. If you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you tell yourself?
Oh man, I'd have a real sit down with myself. But the crazy thing is, like, I guess I would just say, be ready. Stay ready, because the past kind of makes me. Made me. That's how I learned. Who knows? If I'd known, I might have not taken this route. But had a hell of a path. Learned a lot, and I would just say, stay ready.
Yeah.
Like, hang on tight, JD.
Definitely.
That's what I would say.
When your career is all said and done, how do you want people to remember you?
The Road Warrior, man. The Road Warrior's champ. The guy's been around, done that, been there, seen that, fought everyone, and, kind of became a champion. The journeyman's champion, someone who rose from the ranks and became a champ, a legend. And, I put it all in there, and fought till the wheels fall off, and, used my time most, to the most of it. So, we went for it.
Definitely, man. What goals do you still have left?
Champ. I want to be champ. I think I've always had the potential and skills to do it. A lot of times, all the time. You can kind of see it in some of my fights. I'm my own worst enemy. So, getting those demons, getting rid of those things and just staying the course. And I want to be champ. I think I can make a run for it. I think 170s, there's a bunch of sharks. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's a shark, but at the same time, it's wide open. I think I'm tiring. I think I match up pretty similar. It's pretty explosive, but I have some tools. I think I can definitely take advantage of them. And it's kind of wide open to me. They need a star. They need a champ. And I'm the man, so I want to make a run for it.
Yeah, definitely, and I love to see that. I'm looking forward to that for sure. Thanks, man.
Sorry,
go ahead, bud.
Yeah. Oh, like this. I told my buddy Tom. Tom's on the show with me. Well, we both won our first fight, so I could say so. One of the next fight. One of the times I know he said, "Oh, this is it. We're here." And I'm like, "Bro, this is the beginning." So
Yeah.
It was just the beginning.
Definitely, man. Yeah, Tom won a great fight there, that first one. Rooting for him, too, man.
Yeah, Tom's my training partner, real good friend. He's the man. Funny. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I can tell, man. What's the toughest injury you've had to overcome? Was it the eye we were talking about earlier?
No, because that was a weird one. It was like really bad, but it just got better. And I've had a couple. I mean, I always think the meniscus, the knee injuries take a while. They always get better, but luckily I haven't had a big one, but I get the little cartilage one. And they happen like once in a while. It's just like an old wrestling, and you just kind of can't really do anything for a while. Those suck, and definitely rib injuries, because ribs just are horrible. Rib and knee injuries are my worst.
Yeah, I can only imagine, and you guys take fights hurt, because that's how you got to get paid. You got to go fight, so.
Yeah, I've only pulled out. I've never, out of all those fights, the only fight I ever pulled out was about a couple of years ago. Yeah, I never fought injured. So many fights I should have pulled out.
Right.
But I pulled out of I had a pretty bad knee injury. I forget who. I was in WSOF at the time. I think I was supposed to fight some Russian guy or something, and but it was bad. My knee was like real bad, and but it got better. You just gotta have patience. It got better 100%. But yeah, that was probably one of my worst injuries back then, a couple of years ago.
Good deal, buddy. Yeah, I guess we can wrap this up. I just want to tell you, I really appreciate you coming on, man. I've been a big fan for a long time, man. I was really excited that you agreed to come on and do the podcast, man. And I'm rooting for you. I hope you win it all, man.
Bro, I appreciate that. I hope for the best. That's the plan. Send me over the link and whatnot too, and I'll put it up and whatnot.
Cool, man.
The podcast.
Yeah, dude, I will. I appreciate you, buddy. I'll take care, and best of luck, buddy.
Thanks, Paul. You're the man, bro. Have a good one.
You too, bud.